Okay, Jade, we're back.
We're back
We're back in
with
black.
them antibodies.
Got them antibodies, bro. How you feeling, by the way?
Yeah. Feel like 95% better. Um, say the 5% is just like I still have that weird little cough randomly, very infrequently, but it's there.
Yeah, honestly, like
COVID is weird.
I still get like a little fatigued. Like I was at work today, and I was climbing up and down this ladder, and just
hmm
for whatever reason, I was like really winded, and I was like, I gotta go take like a 5 minute or got that long COVID. You know what I'm?
Yeah, it's such a weird what is it, a cold flu, whatever virus. It feels uh created. It doesn't feel
Does
natural at all. It's like nothing you've ever experienced in like a natural type of illness, in my experience. While I was laying in bed, I was picturing, these people in Wuhan in the lab, and they're like, you know, we got to make this COVID-19. We're gonna start it with the basics. We're gonna do like the fever and the body aches and the headache, but like, let's sprinkle a little bit of eye pain in there and like let's make them lose their sense of smell and taste and
well that one's
let's
not as
make them
weird as
like have
people.
no energy.
Yeah, the losing the taste and smell thing, that's not as weird as I think people think it is because there's a lot of like neurological and inflammation issues with all
Mhm.
kinds of different viruses. You know what I mean? So that one,
Right, but I mean, have you ever experienced it to that level with anything else?
no, but that is like a thing with a lot of
Yeah,
other things. So that's, but it was weird. It was
right.
strange to me.
But it's weird.
I had to spray because at first I was like, did I lose my smell? I had to spray my cologne on a
Mhm.
paper towel and I like chloroformed myself with it. And I was like, oh yeah, I can't smell anything. The only thing I could smell was
Yeah,
bleach.
it's like you don't realize it until you realize it. Like I don't know. It's like I was cooking dinner and I'm like, wow, I could forget that I have something in the oven because I can't smell it. You know what I mean? That you're not like, ooh, it smells good or ooh, it smells like it's burning. Like I was like, oh shoot.
Honestly,
I
my
got
biggest
something in the
concern
oven.
the whole time that I had the vid, the biggest concern I had is because I'm living in this RV, right? And it's
Mhm.
got like a black water holding tank. So every time I use the bathroom, it goes into the tank. And anybody who lives or spends any time in an RV, you probably know that occasionally you get like the smell coming out of the bathroom, right? You can smell that black water
Mhm.
holding tank. And normally I can smell it.
Mhm.
And as soon as I catch a whiff of it, I'm like, okay, I need to like either put whatever in it to make the smell go away or I need to dump the tank or whatever the
Right.
case is. But I couldn't smell anything. So the whole time I'm like laying in bed and I was like, I hope I'm not just like breathing in
I
septic
know.
smells and I
I'm
don't
like, I
even,
wonder what my house smells like right now because I'm
yeah.
normally like really sensitive to smells. So I'll be like lighting candles just to get like the dinner smell out of the house or
hmm
whatever. I've got toddlers, so
Oh,
like
it probably
if Oliver
smelled so
poops, it smells like
bad.
it probably smells so bad. And I'm just like in love. My kids are probably like, what the heck?
That's funny. Yeah. Anyways, well, we made it.
But it's weird. Yeah, I was cleaning the bathroom with bleach and normally it's like you can't stay in the bathroom that long with the bleach because it starts to get like toxic and you can't breathe. I forgot I was using bleach and I was just standing in there like letting the bleach sit, cleaning, and then my nostrils started burning and I'm like, "Oh my God, I forgot because I can't smell it." But I honestly think that sniffing the bleach um, helped bring a little bit of my smell back because I can get little whiffs here and there ever since then.
You know what's
Um,
interesting? The only thing that I
Before I
could
couldn't smell
smell,
anything.
yeah, the only thing I could smell the whole time was my Palo Santo wood. I burn Palo Santo wood mostly for like instead of burning incense, I just burn this wood.
hmm
But there is like and I don't know how much I buy into this, but a little bit at least, that there's like a cleansing, kind of like when people burn sage, right? To like
Hmm.
cleanse their
Yeah.
house.
Hmm.
Palo Santo has like a protection thing when you burn
Hmm.
it, right? And so
Okay.
I could smell that when I burned it. And it was interesting to me. I was like, this is more than just a smell. You know what I mean? Like there's something else in the Palo
Hmm.
Santo that's next level, higher vibration or something. I don't know.
Igniting. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's weird. I mean, yeah, and I do still get the exhaustion a little bit, but I'm not sure if it's because I'm not eating like I normally do, and so that I'm getting burnt out easier because I have no appetite either. I mean, it's sort of come back, but not really. So like I haven't been eating like on my same schedule. So I don't know if it's that too. Like I have to think about eating and drinking.
Could be that. Who knows, right?
That's
Anyways,
just
well,
me.
so before I show you something that I found today that was interesting, is there anything in particular that you want to talk
Hmm.
about tonight?
Um, well, I didn't have anything in particular, but what topic is it that you're gonna bring up?
Well, this is just an article. I actually posted it in our group earlier today. Hold on, I'm gonna try to show you. If I can figure out how to do all this because I don't know what I'm doing.
Got that COVID
Uh,
brine still. Um,
oh, I just got smaller in the corner. Hey,
little. Is it COVID related?
it it could be. It really could
Could
be.
be.
I can't figure out how to do this. I got to learn how to use this software before I start getting all crazy. Anyways,
Trying to get all fancy.
yeah, man. But so I saw this article today. Let me see if I can at least pull it up so I can read it for myself or read it to you. This, dang it, I lost it. Anyways,
Oh
so
no.
what it was an article from like Science Magazine or one of these science
Oh, is it
publications.
the first time in centuries?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, first time for the first time in centuries for the human race, the population is said to decrease in the next few decades rather than increase. And I believe in the article it said, it's estimated that the population will go from the quote unquote 7.8 billion people up to like 9 billion people. And then from there, there's going to be a
Hmm.
decline in population.
By 2100,
Right.
falling. Okay, so it says it's currently at 7.8 billion people. That number is forecasted to grow over the next few decades and peak in 2064 at around 9.7 billion, and then falling to 8.8 billion by 2100.
Now,
Did I say that already?
maybe. Why would that be?
2060.
Why would that be? Now, I know the article says something about the birth
Due to the
rates.
Black Plague, the last time that the global population declined was in the mid 14th century due to the Black Plague. So,
Predictive
and then it
programming.
says if our forecast is correct, it will be the first time population decline is driven by fertility decline as opposed to events such as pandemic or famine. But I mean, let's be real. It's still related to the pandemic and famine because it's going to be related to the friggin' vaccine,
I'm
the
not gonna.
fertility issues, I
I'm not
think.
saying all that. Okay, but here's what I'm
I
thinking.
am.
Here's what I'm. Here's what I'm thinking. Right. We've gotten into like Bill Gates and the eugenics and the depopulation stuff. We've talked about 1,000 times, right? But and what I always say
Hmm.
is like the food, the water, the air, the big farm, all that stuff, right, has been doing this depopulation thing right now. Whether that's true or not, who knows really, but that's just where
Hmm.
I'm at with it. But here we are with a big scientific publication essentially warning us or giving us predictive programming saying,
Hmm.
hey, man, the population is going to decline because of infertility. But if you look at all of the things, what the
Hmm.
GMOs apparently do, what the chemtrails apparently do, blah, 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 it all causes infertility.
Right.
So to me,
For
when I
sure.
saw this, I was like, they're admitting that they've been doing this the whole time, and then we're going to start seeing the effects over the next couple of decades. So, you know,
Hmm.
that's just what I was like, holy shit. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, it's kind of like with anything that happens. I feel like you said, they always kind of put it out there for us so they can, you know, for their conscience, be like, we told you, like
Mhm.
we didn't hide this.
Yeah, they have to escape the karmic wheel somehow by giving us
Hmm.
knowledge of their plans, and then we all, comply, and that makes us complicit, right? So that they don't
Hmm.
accrue their bad karma for doing the dirty deeds that they're doing. You know what I mean? And dude,
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty much it for me on that. I'm like, dude, that's it. You just said it, Let me see if I can figure
You
this out.
done said it. Um, yeah, I mean, let's see what else it says. Well, the global.
Well, here's something
Hmm.
else. Anybody who's watching,
Okay.
we're in our Shadow Band Podcast Facebook group here.
Oh,
You see
yes.
this today?
These. Yeah, there's my comment right there.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't
My little
it?
GIF.
That's
Is it a
funny.
GIF or a GIF?
I don't know. That's the great debate of our time, isn't it? GIF or GIF?
The great debate. I'm a GIFer.
I'm a
What are
GIFer.
you?
I'm a GIFer.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a GIFer.
Something we don't agree on.
Yeah. So
There it is, people.
this was interesting for a couple of reasons. Okay. Reason number one, it's Greta Thunberg, right? And for all of us conspiracy theorists, right? Greta Thunberg is definitely.
Time traveler.
I wasn't gonna say that, but okay. Could be. I actually saw a
We
comment.
talked about this before.
Yeah. And I saw a
That
comment
there's
on
a
Tinfoil
picture
Hat.
from like forever ago, supposedly, that looks just like her.
Yeah, man. And I saw a comment on the Tinfoil Hat group that I'm in, and the comment was, "Oh, she's got to be over 100 with all the age regression." And I was like, yeah, you know. But so Greta, right? We all know Greta's probably
Hmm.
whatever, mind controlled or age regressed, who knows what it is. The second thing obviously is her covering the one eye, right? Anybody who gets
Robot.
into the pop culture
Hmm.
side of the, you know conspiracies, and you talk about the Illuminati at all, they're always covering the
Hmm.
one eye, right? Every freaking celebrity
Yeah.
known to man has got pictures of
And
this.
even if you don't believe in the Illuminati, it's kind of like if you see all of these pictures together, like, okay, one of them, it's like, whatever. All of these examples of her
Mhm.
eye being covered, I mean, it should make you be like, why?
and then
It's strange.
and then
At the least, it's strange.
and then you got the black goo.
And then,
You got the black goo,
yeah,
bro.
that's weird. What
Did you
is that
watch?
supposed to be? Like,
Okay. All right. So I'm not an expert on the black goo concept, but I have heard of it. I've listened to a few
well,
podcasts where people break it
what is
down.
it in the article, the context of the
Uh,
news, the magazine cover,
I don't know,
though?
but I
Like,
could,
what's the purpose?
I think that it has something to do with
Oil or
oil.
something?
Right.
Like,
But here's the thing,
okay,
right?
yeah.
And I'm not going to try to do it here because I don't know what I'm doing really, but there's, dude, tons of
Hmm.
music videos, and there's tons of this black goo shit, right? Where you see these celebrities doing
Hmm.
the black goo, or like think of Venom, right? The movie Venom, the black
Yeah.
goo stuff taking him
Uh-huh.
over, right? I think Lady Gaga has a music video. It's all like black goo type stuff and all this. But the black goo is the graphene and the graphene oxide that we had talked about before. Remember, I was saying that the
Oh.
graphene is like a nanoparticle, and they're going to be able to use it for
Uh-huh.
all kinds of sensors and computing and whatever. It's got
Hmm.
some satanic ritualistic meanings as well. So when I saw that, I was like, dude, not only is it the one eye covered, but it's also black goo. It's like they just put this shit
Like,
in our faces,
boo.
man. It's like it's almost like they're mocking us
Yeah,
in a way. You know what I'm saying? Which,
they totally are. They
yeah,
totally
man.
are.
Did you see this one today?
Oh my gosh, yes. Like, what the heck?
So
It's honestly
let me step out
mind-blowing
of the way
to
so you can.
me. Like it's not unbelievable, but it's just like, yeah, it kind of pulls back the curtain of reality, what you're seeing on your TV.
the
It's a freaking
world
stage,
the world is a stage, and for anybody who's not watching, who's listening, we're doing a little different today just because we're zooming it and whatever. I'm just trying
Yeah.
to bring up some stuff here, but this is a meme where it's ALX the Lord posted Joe Biden using a fake White House backdrop is so on brand for him. Now that's funny because it's true, right?
Yeah.
Very on brand
It's
for Joe
funny,
Biden.
but not funny because
It's like,
I
here's what
mean,
I don't
it's all
understand. Why
fake.
can't you? I don't
Why?
I don't remember who I saw this on. I think I saw Alex Stein or somebody in the community did a video on this, and they were saying like, dude, why can't you just do the booster shot in the Oval Office or in the White House or wherever? Like, why do you have to set up this whole stage? Those
Mm.
windows, right, with the trees and all that stuff in the background, those are like screens,
Yeah, it's
you
so
know.
bizarre.
But when
Yeah.
you look up what the news put out, they put out a much more zoomed in version, right? Like this was like, I guess, leaked from somebody,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But what the news showed
Probably
you,
like a reporter.
right? The news showed you an up close. So you thought he was in the White House getting his booster. And it's like, why
You're
wouldn't
right
you?
in the White House with him while he's getting his shot.
And here's my theory on this, okay? Because like again, why wouldn't you just
Okay.
do it in the White House? And again,
Right.
whoever it was,
I mean, they
Alex.
have cameras there, or maybe they don't.
Well, no,
Maybe it's all
here's the
fake.
thing that I believe it was Alex Stein. If I'm wrong about this, forgive me. But he was saying like, dude, there's pop-up jab centers, right, outside of CVS. There's
Hmm.
pop-up jab centers outside of roach-filled, asbestos-ridden apartment complexes, right? So like, what is the
Yeah.
point of this? You could do this in the White House, but you didn't. And here's my thought on
Right.
this. Now, we've talked before briefly about how, remember the green screen, him reaching over the microphone, and there's a lot of other
Hmm.
green screen quote unquote videos where people are like, is he really there? Is that really him? You know what I mean? So what I'm
Yeah.
thinking is, are they actually in the underground bunker? Are they even, you know what I'm saying? Like, this
Mm.
could be a total, like, okay, yeah, we see the backdrop, we can see that it's faked to an extent, right? Like the
Yeah.
setting is faked, but is it even more faked than that, where they're not even
Hmm.
there, they're totally somewhere else? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So that was just like, dude, it was just obvious to me. I'm like, well, kind of hard to cover that one up.
Yeah, it's definitely just strange. And that's the thing that I'm finding with a lot of the conspiracy stuff is it's just like even if you don't believe, it's like it's just so obviously just strange that how can you not question it even just a little? You know what I mean? Like maybe he's not in an underground bunker, but it is like, why is he not just in the White House? Why spend all that money to make a fake White House? You know what I mean? Like our money, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When they have the stuff set up in the White House already. I mean, they do press camera stuff there all the time, right? So why aren't they there?
Makes you wonder.
It's just weird.
The world is a stage. That's my answer.
Yeah.
Everything that we see from the news and blah blah blah, it's all fabricated to either create division or to create um, like a victim mentality for somebody, or just to, like Tripoli says, to steal your loosh, right, to get us uppity about the fact that
Hmm.
it's faked, right? And it's like super interesting to think that that could be the case. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to talk about, let me see, this one you actually shared some insight on this on the group.
Okay.
BBC News COVID-19 in
Oh, yes,
Wales.
this is what I was going to say we should talk about.
Yeah, man. COVID-19 in Wales.
I had it pulled up.
1/3 of positive cases are unvaccinated. That's the headline. COVID-19 in Wales. 1/3 of positive cases are unvaccinated.
Here's my initial reaction when I read it the first time, right? Your first thought, you're mindlessly reading it, and it just positive cases, unvaccinated, third, like it's just your initial gut reaction is to be like, what? So many of them are unvaccinated. But it's like, if you actually use your brain and read the title, it's just like, are you freaking kidding me? I mean, they're literally telling you 2/3 of the cases are vaccinated. And in case people don't know, 2/3 is more than a third for those people that are good at
Listen,
fractions. It's
unfortunately,
just,
there's a lot of people who don't know that.
no, I know there's a lot of people who don't. I went to hair school, and making formulas for hair color does require fractions and math. And I literally saw a table of like 15 adults debating on if a quarter or a half was bigger. And 95% of them were wrong.
These people vote.
And I
Not that
was
voting
like, oh my
matters. I mean,
God.
personally, I don't know if that even, but these people vote. These are the people who vote. These are your neighbors.
And that's the thing. Not only do they not know that just off the top of their head, I mean, so basic and simple, but with the technology that we have now, everybody has a cell phone. You could just literally Google it, and they refuse to look it up so they have the right answer. You know what I mean?
Shout out to
It's
my
just a
math
really good
teacher in high
example
school who
of,
said I wouldn't have a calculator all the time.
right? All the time. But so anyways, I was talking to my mom about that today, because we were talking about, she called to see how I was feeling, whatever. We were talking about COVID. And I told her about the title of that article, and it made me think, like, okay, first of all, I didn't go look to see if the article was real, right? It's just a screenshot, so it could be fake. So I decided to find it, and I found it, and I read the article,
Wait, are you
and
telling me
then
you
it
did your
just
own
gets
research?
worse.
You did your own
I
research, Jade?
did, because I was like, you know what, if I'm
Oh,
like talking about this,
you're
I
an
need to make
extremist.
sure it's like legit, you
You're
know?
a danger to society. You cannot do your own
I
research.
know.
Brian Helter Skelter Stelter did a whole piece on this saying if you do your own research, like don't do your own research. Like he did a whole piece on that. So you're the problem, Jade. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
I know. I'm a bad girl. So anyways, if you read the actual article, it's even worse than the title. Um, hold on, let me make sure I'm reading it right. So it starts with the thing, a third of the people are unvaccinated. And it said that figures also showed 99% of the people who tested positive for COVID in the last week in Wales were under 60. Of those, 37% were unvaccinated. Nearly 13%. It's like the way they word it, it's a mind game because
Really
it's
is.
like the statement that this sentence that I'm going to say, nearly, like when they say it like that, it it makes you feel like, oh my gosh, nearly 13%, right? But that's a small number. Nearly 13% of hospital patients with confirmed COVID were unvaccinated. Do the opposite math, right? 13% unvaccinated, and then
87%.
87% were vaccinated.
No, but they
But
can't
it's
put,
all in
why
the way
wouldn't you
they
put
word
that
it.
in the article? Why wouldn't you just say that number in the article?
Right.
Because they know
Because
that,
it's
like we were
all
saying,
a mind
everybody's an
game.
idiot. People can't do basic math. They don't understand any kind of fractions or percentages. So people are literally, and not only that, but the attention spans of people these days. Like, how many people do you think got those 3 sentences in before they were like, okay, I'm done. You know what I mean?
Right. Or even actually went and read the article.
Mm-hmm.
Then it also goes to say, because it's like once you start thinking, you're like, okay, so if most of the people are vaccinated that are getting COVID, then what? Does that mean the vaccine doesn't work, right? It
Oh, it
says,
definitely
although
works. It's
80%
safe
of
and effective.
patients have been double dosed with the vaccine, public health officials said this is not evidence that the vaccine is not working and that vaccines keep 95% of people out of the hospital. But it says it's also in that sentence, the nearly 13% hospital patients, it's saying 87% of the hospital patients are vaccinated if you're reading it opposite of what they're saying. So I don't know. And then they're basically trying to rationalize the next, if you go down, it's like, just like questions that they're answering. So it's like, why are so many vaccinated people in the hospital? It's just like constantly contradicting everything they're saying. And then it basically is just saying that um, without the vaccine, the numbers would be even higher. So even though they're high, they'd be even higher.
Hmm.
They're not giving us any real rational reasoning. They're just using words to distract you from what they're really saying.
They're safe and effective. I think everybody should be forced at, I wouldn't say gunpoint because I think guns are a harm to society. I think that everybody should be forced to get the vaccine because it's the pandemic of the unvaccinated. So that's what I think, just for
Yeah.
the record, you know.
If
But
you didn't get the vaccine, this is all your fault because 1/3 of the people that have COVID are unvaccinated. And 2/3, that's not that much. 2/3, they're vaccinated.
so here's another
In
thing.
case if you're not getting my sarcasm.
Yeah. Here's the other thing. And I posted this as well. In satanic rituals, they wear masks and they stand 6 feet apart.
Ooh, hold on. You know what I just thought? 2/3 is like 66.6666%.
See now, see what a year of talking to a conspiracy theorist will do to you.
Of all the numbers they could have used.
Of all the numbers, 66.6%. Wow. They should have just
Mhm.
that should have been the article. 66.6%. That
That's
should have been.
yeah. Why didn't they just use that?
Oh man, that's funny. But yeah, in satanic rituals, and I'm not a Satanist, so I'm not an expert on this, but in satanic rituals, they wear masks and they stand 6 feet
Mhm.
apart. Now, there's a whole idea of the toroidal field from the heart. Okay, you ever heard of this before? Toroidal field of the heart.
No.
So everything is vibrations and energy fields and blah blah blah, right? The idea is that your heart chakra, right, puts out, um, call it a bubble, although I think it's in the shape of a tetrahedron. I might be wrong about that, I don't really know. But your heart is putting out
Okay.
a specific field, like an electromagnetic field. Let's just go with that term, right? That field
Okay.
apparently is about 6 feet outside of your body.
Hmm.
So it's almost as if they're trying to keep your heart field and my heart field from coming in contact, while also making us all do these acts that are done in satanic rituals. Coincidence?
Mhm. It's usually too much of a coincidence to be a coincidence anymore.
I'm just saying.
Just like the 66.666%. I just can't believe that.
Yeah, I didn't even really think about that, but that is you're pretty on point with that. And speaking of 666, I want to bring this up. Now, I know a lot of people have talked about this. I've heard Alex Stein talk about this a lot. Gabby Petito.
I was just gonna say
I
we
don't
should
want to
talk about
spend
her.
too much time on it because again, it's people are blowing up the internet with this
Yeah,
whole thing.
just
But
that music video thing.
yeah, that we'll get to that. The
Okay.
first thing, what the hell was that noise? Bigfoot outside.
The lizard
The
people.
lizard people are here. The the first thing, the body cam footage from the cop talking to her. The cop on his
Hmm.
left hand has 3 dots in a triangle tattooed on his hand. Now, anybody who knows about
Hmm.
any kind of occult symbolism, that is a representation of 666. Now, if it has other meanings in the world, I get that. Okay. But here's what's weird, it was on his left hand. Right hand to God, it was on his left hand.
Mm.
Okay, a little
Hmm.
666 action for you. Then, like you were
Okay.
saying, Gabby Petito was in the I don't want to say the word because we'll probably just get banned for saying it. She was in the music video "Irreplaceable" for the Sandy massacre.
HOOK.
Right. Okay. It's very interesting that
Which
that
it's just like, what are the odds? Come on.
wait, it gets deeper.
What are the freaking odds?
It gets deeper. Her name was the last
Okay.
name in the credits on that video. If you watch the whole music video and you watch the credits go by,
Really?
tell you all the actors, her brothers were in it and stuff like that. But her name was the last name in the credits. Also,
And it's not alphabetical order.
no, it's not. Like her, you
I
see
mean, it
other, you
doesn't
see her
seem like it would
brother
be. Yeah.
and then a bunch of other names, and then she's down at the bottom. It's not in alphabetical order, so it's a little bit odd to me that she was the last
Okay.
one.
Just random.
Also, the amount of time in between her body being found and I believe either the date of that video being released or the date of the massacre that the video is about is 3,202 days. We'll have to do a
Okay.
whole episode on the skull and bones, but that's another occult number connected to skull and bones. So
Oh.
we're already at what, 4 or 5 coincidences?
Coincidences.
Just saying, bro. It's a little bit interesting. And then you got people like Dog the
Sold.
Bounty Hunter. Dog, I see all these people are like, if Dog finds him first, I ain't paying taxes
I'm not paying
anymore.
taxes.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, yeah, that's funny, and you're right, but it's a distraction. It's a freaking distraction.
Hmm.
Dog the Bounty Hunter. Now, some people are like, oh,
I'm distracted. That's for sure.
right. There's a part of it that's like, oh, Dog's just looking for his photo op, trying to whatever, and yeah, probably, but
Hmm.
also he's a freaking actor, and it's like, come on, man. This is just getting out of hand. It's like obvious. They put this shit in your face to
Yeah.
mock you, and it's like super duper obvious if you know what to look for.
Right.
That's weird.
I just want them to friggin' find him. Like, I don't understand why it's so hard.
What do you mean?
It's pissing me off. To find this guy, Brian Laundrie. Like, this dude. They should have known where he was all the time. Anyways, I can't stop refreshing until they find him.
Read this.
So that's why I said I'm distracted, because I'm all up in this case.
Read this.
Okay, I'm reading it. It looks disgusting. Lab-grown meat to hit US in 2022, backed by the FDA and USDA, along with smart, what does that say?
Oh, sorry.
Smart food, safety blueprint, and something
And
all underway. Oh,
traceability.
there. Smarter food. Ew, what? I didn't even notice that the first time I read it.
Remember,
Traceability.
okay, listen, if you go back to our first couple episodes when we were talking about Agenda 21 and Agenda 2030 and all that
Hmm.
stuff, and I was telling you that they're going to like track every freaking molecule that you consume, and your carbon footprint will be tracked to the whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
bro, and the term that they used was smart city initiatives, and I was saying that everything that's labeled
Hmm.
smart this, smart that,
Smart.
part of it. Look at this:
Hmm.
smarter food safety blueprint, okay, with food traceability technology.
It's just like, why, do they explain what the food traceability
Wait,
technology
wait, wait,
is in
wait.
this
What
article?
does this say? The World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, has informed everyone that you'll eat much less meat, an occasional treat, not a staple. That's from the World Economic Forum. These are the people, oh man, people who don't
They're gonna force us to eat less meat,
wait, it gets
or
better.
we only get their traceable smart
Bill
food.
Gates wants, quote, all rich countries
Mm.
to move to 100% synthetic meat. Huh. So we got Klaus
I
Schwab.
just don't understand.
I'm telling you, bro.
There's no reasoning except for the control, you know?
Timeline of relevant events
Freaking
and
weird.
key players. Are you ready for this? 2001, NASA.
Yeah.
NASA. We already know NASA was started
Mhm.
by the Nazis and by what's his name, L. Ron Hubbard, the Scientologist guy. Okay, look, NASA scientists in
Yeah, it's like, why would NASA have anything to do with friggin' synthetic meat being
well,
made?
because
Really?
it's all dark
I
art.
mean, I know in the conspiracy, but if you're someone who's trying to say, oh no, this is fake news, like, why would NASA be involved with this at all? They don't do anything with food.
And here's the other part: it's
Continue.
always universities, Dutch universities,
Mm.
the University of Maryland in 2005 started working on growing meat in incubators by utilizing stem
Ugh.
cells from a biopsy of a live animal. Beyond Meat was founded by Ethan Brown and is headquartered in El Segundo, California. They developed plant based substitutes for meat, which created quite a trend to welcome the future of lab grown meat. When the Impossible Whopper came out, I literally was telling people this is the first step for them to feed you lab grown meat. And that was before any of these articles were really like being pumped out like they are now.
Yeah. See, I didn't realize the Impossible Burger was lab-grown meat. It is? I just thought
Um,
it was like plant-based.
I
I'd
don't know if the
never eaten
Impossible
it, but
Burger is, but I never really looked into that too deep. But
yeah.
just the concept of that, you know what I'm saying? Like the
Hmm.
idea. So
Hmm.
I don't know. 5 days before the signing of Whole Foods over to Amazon, Bill Gates and Richard Branson, both of these, I mean, Richard Branson went to space, right? And Bill Gates invested in Memphis
Hmm.
Meat. Gates, Branson, Elon Musk's brother Kimball Musk, and Cruz, co-founder of Kyle Vogt, have funded $17 million to Memphis Meats as of 2017. Tyson Foods and Cargill also have a stake in it. By 2020, they had $161 million in investments for its production facility.
What is that? Is that a regular meat or
No, this is all lab grown meat. This is literally
the Memphis meats is lab-grown meat?
timeline and relevant events and key players in this lab grown meat situation.
Okay.
January 2019, the World Economic
Okay,
Forum.
so you need to get in on the stocks for Memphis meats. Just kidding.
In January of 2019, the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, published their
Hmm.
Improving Traceability in Food Value Chains Through Technology Innovations as part of their Great Reset in collaboration with McKinsey and Company. Are these names
Mm.
and these organizations, is this any of this, you know? It's almost like we've talked about all this shit before.
Yeah, I don't know, this is all getting to be a little bit cry cry. Upside, hold on. I'm trying to look up this Memphis meats.
The USDA awarded contracts to provide
Upside Foods.
uh where is it at again?
Yeah, I think they changed the name to Upside Foods.
In 2020, the USDA awarded contracts to provide 8 million RFID tags to cattle and bison producers for free, of course. I don't know if that was a typo or I'm retarded. They want them tracked and traced. A battle ensued, and in March of 2021, the USDA announced its intent to pursue rulemaking on RFID use in animal disease traceability by 2023. Animal disease traceability. Does that sound familiar to anybody in the last 2 years?
Ay, ay, ay.
The list goes
What
on.
else does it say?
The list goes on.
Yeah, that's a really long, very thorough article.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to put the link in the
Beginning to
group.
see the picture, the same companies and individuals that are involved with the 2030 agenda, Agenda 2030, quote unquote, great reset, that are rolling out the digital identities to get everyone in onto the blockchain in order to control humanity. Okay, this is what we were talking about with Bill Gates and ID 2020. Everybody's going to be issued a digital ID. It's all going to be on the blockchain. You're not going to be able to do this. Is the mark of the beast. When people talk about, oh, the stabby stab is the mark of the beast, or the this or that is the mark of the beast.
Yeah.
No. The mark of the beast is when you get your digital ID attached to the blockchain using your corporate owned name from your birth certificate, all of those things. That is the mark of the beast. It's coming. It's coming.
I just don't. It's kind of stressful to think like, will we be here for this? Can you refuse it? Like, how are they going to force people to do this? You know what I mean?
Because, well, okay, like let's
How
think
is your
about,
life going to be if you try to fight it, you know?
yeah, let's think about the idea of the mark of the beast. You're not going to be able to buy or anything, right? You're not going to be able to shop. You're not going to be able to travel. You're not going to be able to do any of these things that we do without the mark of the beast. That's how they're going to force it. They're going to force it by being like, oh, you don't have a digital ID. I'm sorry, we can't, we can't
Yeah, you're basically gonna have to like fend for yourself or, you know, possibly starve with your family.
the
I
whole
mean, it's kind of scary.
I mean, dude, and it's weird because like a year ago when we started this podcast, I was like talking about this stuff and it was all conspiracy. It was all, I'm not going to say it was all conspiracy because a lot of this information was published. That's how I kind of knew about a lot of it. But, it was a lot
It
of
just wasn't as
speculation.
out there in the open.
Exactly. So, I mean, but now here we are. And I've been saying this the whole time too, that all the lockdowns and all that stuff, the mandatory stabby stabs, all that stuff is literally like a beta test, right? And you can kind of already see it now. I've heard Biden talking about it and I've seen articles about it, how they're like, oh, the global climate crisis, right? The borderless climate crisis, right? All that stuff. This was literally a beta test for when they start locking you down because of the climate crisis, right? They wanted to see how many people will go along with it, how many people will put the muzzle on, how many people stay
And
inside.
who's not going to specifically, like putting us all on that terror watch
Oh
list
yeah,
just for friggin'
just for questioning
thinking.
the narrative. Yeah, if you question the narrative, you're
Yeah.
on the terror watch list for the Department of Homeland Security. I'm telling you, man, like this is coming down the line. Now, here's the other side of it. Is like I'm trying to be better at not letting it consume me in a negative way, right? Because there was a long time where I'd be like, "Oh my God, this is coming," and like you just
Yeah,
freaking
like
out.
panicking.
You know what I mean? But there's a whole other side of this where it's like, okay, think about it this way: you can't go to the bar or the movie theater or the club unless you show your papers, right? That's coming, and it's already in a lot of places, right?
Yeah.
So that's coming. But you don't have to go to the bar or the club or the movie theater to have a good time, especially with people that you love and care
Right.
about. What you should do instead is go outside. Nature is not going to look for your papers. If I want to get on my kayak and ride down the river, or if I want to walk the trail or whatever the case, I'll go bird watching or something, right? Then I don't need to show my papers. And that's actually much better for you anyways than going to these
Right.
establishments where
Healthier option.
exactly higher vibration.
Sitting, watching a movie, eating junk food,
And you don't need permission.
drinking, you know.
You don't need permission to
Hmm.
go outside. I was listening to the Higher Side Chats with Greg Carlwood, his newest episode, and at the very end, he says these kinds of things. He's like, I could find like-minded people, right? People who want to get out of this broke ass system, that want to meet me at the beach or that want to meet me at the river, right? And we can go
Yeah.
experience what our ancestors experienced, go outside, get the sunlight, get the fresh air. And we don't have to show papers. We don't have to ask for permission. And we can still have a great freaking time. We don't have to stand 6 feet apart and have our heart chakra toroidal fields be too far from each other. We can literally do the
Hmm.
things in a better situation. So,
Yeah.
instead of letting it freak us out, like, oh my God, we're going to be stuck in the system and I'm not getting the ID 2020 mark of the
Yeah.
beast. You know
It's
what?
definitely all about your mindset. It's like, I don't know, looking at it as a chance to live a simpler life with less chaos. I mean, that's kind of what the pandemic did for me. Like, it was a little stressful. Like, we both got furloughed at the beginning of the pandemic, and that was a little scary, but we took it and we were like, all right, like, we finally get to spend time together like we want, and we can do a garden in the backyard and work on projects together and play outside, and it was like, it was great,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. But then they called us back to work and crushed our dreams. But it was like, it's all in your mindset. Because, like, yeah, we have kids. It was scary to not have jobs, but it was like, man, we always are complaining that we never have enough time. Now we have time, and we made the best of it. And I think that it's totally something that people need. I mean, it's good to know all of this stuff so you can
It's good to be
make
aware.
good decisions,
Mm-hmm.
and not just like going along with whatever and ending up in a place that you didn't think you were going with all of this. Um, but yeah, I mean, like, I don't let it all consume me because it's just, I don't know. I mean, I'm a Christian, so like I have a point of view is like, even if I died of starvation, like, with my family, like, as horrible as that is, to think that potentially that could happen one day in my lifetime, because of all of this. Like, if that were to happen, I have peace knowing like where me and my family will be going for eternity. You know what I mean? So it's like all in your mindset, I think, and just like having the information so you know what to expect, but not letting it consume you.
It's true.
That's my TED talk for the day. Thank you for coming.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
But yeah, man, no,
But
it's
even for people that don't believe in the like eternity stuff that I believe in, whatever you believe in, you know, it's, don't just base your whole mentality of life on all of this drama of, that's what they want, right? They want you to be scared, stressed, because don't you always say they like feed off of that negative energy?
mm-hmm.
Don't give it to them.
That's it, man. The demiurge Yaldabaoth feeds off of your low vibrational negative energy, your fear, your anxiety, your
Hmm.
anger, your hate. Like that's what Yaldabaoth feeds off of, right? You don't want to
Hmm.
feed that. You want to feed the positive, high vibrational things like God or whatever you believe in, right? Like
Hmm.
whatever,
Right.
because I know there's people that probably don't believe in God, but feed the high vibration. You could be aware of the low vibrational things, and it is good, I think, to be aware of it because, like you said, you can navigate the waters a little easier if you know what to look for. But
Hmm.
I think we all need to start just feeding the good energy and trying not to feed the negative energy. And another big thing about that is, being attached to the material, right? Kind of like what I was saying. Like you don't
Hmm.
have to go to the club to have a good time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can you don't have to be stuck in that material world where it's all about how much money you got, how good do you look, is my
Mm-hmm.
eyeliner on point, am I ripped enough for the girls? And I'm not saying you shouldn't work out and get jacked, but
Right.
you know what I'm saying. Like, don't be so
For the
attached.
right reasons.
Exactly. Do it for your health. Don't do it for your aesthetic.
Appearance. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So, here's one other thing I wanted to show, because this whole time people are like, oh, there's not chips in stuff. They're not chipping stuff, right? We all have heard the
Yeah.
anti-chipper bullshit. But let me
Or
pull
the
this.
reasoning why it couldn't be in the vaccine. It is not possible.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Like, okay, thanks for that.
Here we go.
Feel better
This
about it now.
this is this is technology.nasa.gov. This is a patent that NASA came up with. NASA has developed an innovative approach to improve the quality and convenience of medical diagnosis and data transmission for immediate therapy. The new technology uses a network of nanochemical sensors on a silicone chip combined with a monitoring system composed of humidity, temperature, and pressure flow sensors for real time chemical and physical properties, measurement of human breath for non invasive and low cost medical diagnosis. No such technology exists in the market today, although many research activities are ongoing. NASA's technology is readily available for this application, with a detection range of parts per million to parts per billion. This technology, called a nanosensor array chip, provides a highly sensitive, low power, and compact tool for in situ and real time analysis. I don't know what in situ means. It
Probably situation.
Yes. It changes the way and time decisions are made to help both patient and medical care provider to minimize their cost, optimize resources, reduce risk, and cut the amount of time needed for conducting a response. How about them chips? How about them nano sensor chips that we've been talking about?
So you think it's gonna be in the chip, the like, what is that called? Blockchain
No, no, no. This is a
technology, this
nano,
separate.
and I talked about this on our graphene episode. And I don't know if this
Hmm.
is graphene. I think this is a totally different thing, but this is the same
Hmm.
concept.
Idea.
Right.
Hmm.
Nanoparticles, parts per billion. That is so small, you'd never see it. I mean, for all I know, there's billions of them right here floating through. Like, I can see this little speck of dust flying around. Like, it's smaller than that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, billion times smaller than that. So it's like,
Yeah, it's just weird. Like, monitoring systems composed of humidity, temperature, and pressure flow sensors. Like, what?
remember, I've said this a bunch of times on the show. They're going to track in real time how much of what you're consuming, all of that stuff, right? And how they going to know how much vitamin C I consumed today, right? Did I surpass my
Hmm.
allotted amount? How are they going to know, right? I'm out here in the RV in the woods. I could do whatever I want. Nanosensors all up in you, all up around you, blah, blah, blah. They'll know.
Hmm.
Now, I'm under the belief that the 5G has something to do with that, right? Now,
Mm.
we've already talked about the potential risks of 5G, right? Those studies haven't been
Yeah.
updated in a decade, so who really knows anymore? But how do we know that they're not using that to be able to facilitate the data transfer real time, all the time, for all of us?
Yeah.
That's how you do it. You pump out through the sea trails, right? I think that word gets you banned. The sea trails,
Hmm.
pump out these little tiny nano particulate sensors, so that we've all been breathing them in for, who knows, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, who knows.
Yeah.
And once they flip the switch on, they'll be like, oh, we got real time data feed of what is in your body, what you are consuming, and all the things. Now, on that
Mm.
thing, it sounds all good. Oh, we could diagnose you. You got a medical,
Yeah.
they always fluff it up. It's the save the puppies bill idea.
Yeah.
You
So
know
we
what I
can take
mean?
better care of you.
Right. It's always about saving the puppies, even though it's 50,000 pages long, and somewhere in there it's about whatever. You know what I mean? It's like this infrastructure bill. What did I see today? It was like 2,500 pages long. Any politician who signs a bill, I think Charlie posted this, anybody who signs something into law without reading all 2,000 pages, which they definitely don't, should be fired, questioned, investigated, the whole nine yards.
Because it's just like over time, these things just start popping up and like, oh, well, that was in that COVID bill, you know, you guys agreed to it. It's like the mileage thing. I don't really know what is that, just to drive your own car?
So I've seen a little bit of conflicting information on that. I don't know, again, because I didn't read the 2,000 pages either, right? But from what I understand, there could potentially be some form of mileage tax because of the climate crisis, right? Every mile you drive, I think the number was 8 cents. That's going to be the tax. And again, I don't know the specifics. I could be wrong or whatever, but that's the idea.
I think it was that.
8 cents a mile is going on to this new tax. And it's like, what?
I mean, that's insane.
I already pay taxes for you to build the roads. Then I got to pay tolls to drive on the roads that
tolls. You have to register your car, have insurance. I mean, here at least you do. Just to have a car. Then you have to pay for gas and you have to pay for, the wear and tear. And like, who's going to be able to afford that? Well, honestly, it's to get us stuck.
To get us
scared to go anywhere.
Scared to go anywhere. Sleepy Joe said, we're not going to raise taxes on anybody who makes less than $400,000 a year. But if you drive a car, we're going to tax you for every mile you drive. So,
it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Let's see what else we start to hear about that comes out of that bill. Because, again, it was like 2,000 something pages. And so we've probably not even hit the tip of the iceberg with it, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, you're probably 100% right. Something else that happened, and this will probably be the last one because I think we've been going pretty long here. So everybody knows and remembers Russia collusion. Trump was doing Russia collusion, right? And then us conspiracy theorists, we were like, no. It was Hillary Clinton. And everybody was like, conspiracy. Comes to find out, the lawyer that was running the whole Hillary Clinton shit and the DNC, all that, he was indicted for what? Lying to the FBI about the pee video. Remember the pee story? Remember Donald Trump getting peed on by hookers in Russia and all that other stuff? Yeah. Okay. The Russian collusion was in fact bought and paid for.
All a lie.
Bought and paid for by Clinton, the DNC, the whole 9 yards. So once again, conspiracy theory. I got to get a bell, kind of like in Brian Callen and Tripoli show. They got a bell, so every time Brian takes an L, Tripoli rings the bell. I got to get a bell because every time we come out to be right, I got to be like ding, 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 ding. You know what I'm saying?
We need to like have like a board.
Yeah, like a ticker.
Like list all our correct theories on the board. Yeah.
Getting crazy. There's a lot more shit that happened in the last couple of weeks, but bro.
Yeah. It's been crazy, and I'm definitely like out of touch, I think, with a lot of it because I've been dealing with the COVID crap. So, but I think, I was actually kind of new all the stuff we talked about today, so.
Well, that's good. You're on the up and up. And you brought something to my attention, man. The 66.6%.
Dude. That's so crazy.
Dude. What? Coincidence. Don't be an extremist.
I think not.
Don't be an extremist. So, we got trolled a little bit.
Yeah. the heck,
We
man?
got trolled. Listen, whoever it is, I don't know if they listen to every episode. I hope they're listening to this, and I hope you listen to the episode that I just recorded with Infinite Rabbit Hole. You came on both of our shows. You came on
Are we
both
gonna
of our
say
shows.
the
I'm not gonna
name?
say the name because I don't want to be that guy.
Okay.
I already posted about it. People can find it if they want. This schmuck, that's his name, schmuck. Her name, its name,
Schmucky
whatever.
schmuck.
This schmuck is somebody that I know. And this schmuck decided that they wanted to troll our show
You
and
think it's
Infinite
someone
Rabbit.
you know?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. If you read the whole review on both pages, it's pretty obvious to me that this person listens to the show and pays enough attention to
Oh
know that
yeah.
I was on the other show as well, because a lot of people don't know this. I'm
Know that
co-host
yet. Yeah.
on a second show, The Infinite Rabbit Hole, and they decided to go over to that show as well and leave really shit negative reviews. Now, look, dude, you want to leave a negative review because you don't like the production or whatever the case is, dude, I'm about it, dude. I'm a conspiracy theorist. People have talked shit and talked down to me my whole life about it, and I can take it. I got thick skin. But when you come on and you trash all of our guests, when you say every guest we've had on is doing my show dirty,
Yeah.
and then when you go on to my other show and you trash them and all these things, like, dude, you're a coward, bro. You're hiding behind your
Come
username.
on the show. Let's
Come
talk
on
to
this
him.
show. I will gladly have you on this show
You think you're better?
for at
Let's
least
give
an
you a
hour.
shot.
You can talk about anything you want. I won't even bash you on the show. I'm bashing you right now. Okay. Since you bashed me and you tanked our rank on both shows, now I'm calling you out. Come on the show. You're welcome. I won't even tell anybody
Well, I'll say he did change his review on ours and gave us the 5 stars, but
yeah, but
still all negative words.
he added more negative words.
Yeah, more.
Changed the stars up to 5, but then he added like a whole nother
Yeah.
novel worth of bashing our guests. And here's the thing, dude. You're going to say that the guests that I bring on are doing my show a disservice. The guests I bring on, I don't bring them on to do us a service. I bring them on to do them a service, right? This is like a community of people, and I like what you talk about, or I'm interested in.
Yeah, and we're not claiming that our guests are like, you know, big stars or experts in anything specific. It's a conversation. I'm not an expert in any of this, so who am I to go and say, you know, these people aren't whatever smart enough? Or I mean, he definitely did some name calling that wasn't nice, and that's just not how we roll, you know. So
whoever you are, if you're listening to this, and I hope you are, you're welcome to come on the show. DM me. Okay, we can debate or we can yell at each other in agreement. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Come on the show, do a better job, or start your own show and do a better job. Don't say that my guests are doing me a disservice when I'm doing them a service, or at least that's the way I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just bringing people on, trying to get their name out there, right? And people will bring me on their show, like Sam Tripoli, to help us get our name out there. That's how this works. You know what I'm saying? You don't go to McDonald's and then leave a 1-star review saying your customers suck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I had to vent about that. And I know I'm giving the dude the attention and I'm giving him what he wants, or her, or whatever gender they decide they are tomorrow. I'm giving them what they want. So this is to you. Cheers. You're getting what you want, but I'm also calling you out. Come on the show.
Yeah, be our guest.
Be our guest.
That's literally what I was thinking. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Anyway, got anything else?
But we do have some guests coming on soon.
Big
so
guests.
That's pretty exciting.
We got some good guests coming up. Really good guests. I'm actually really happy about the lineup coming up. I'm not going to give the names away because I want it to kind of be a surprise. So stick around.
But
Next week's going to be fire. Going to be fire.
Fire.
All right. And the week after that's going to be fire. And the week after that's going to be fire. All right. Big names, important people, important information.
Yes.
Other than that,
I'm excited. Nope. I think I'm good.
Perfect. Go to our website, shadowbandpodcast.com. Go check out the altmediaunited.com.
Hmm.
We're on there now, and you can see all the other podcasts that we're kind of like in a cooperative with. There's a lot of huge names: Sam Tripoli, Alex Stein, Greg Carlwood. Dude, some of my favorite shows of all time are in the same kind of group cooperative on this website, Alt Media United. Dude, when we got added to that, I was like, it was almost as good as going to talk to Sam Tripoli for me. I mean, it
Yeah,
was really on, it was like the same level. You know what I mean?
so
So
cool.
yeah, check it out. Honestly, Mark did a better job at making us a page on that website than I did making us a whole website. You know what I mean? Like, it looks good, it looks professional. He did a kick-ass job. So Mark, if you hear this, shout out to you.
Hmm.
Um, that's it. We got a couple new shirt designs. Buy them. I'm not making shit off them. Some people are like, oh, a little expensive. I'm like, they're not making anything because you're getting free shipping. I think I actually spend
Yeah.
money on one of the shirts. Like, I'm losing like $1 or $2 every time somebody buys a shirt, but I don't care. Support the show. Uh, Whatever
Get
you
the
got to
message
do.
out there.
Yeah. Oh, and please go leave us a freaking review to bury this trolls. Okay, he tanked our.
Something is going on with our reviews though. Like I just went and checked them and two of them are gone. So now our rating went down more because two reviews are just gone now.
Shadow banned.
So weird. We're getting shadow banned for sure.
Shadow
They're
banned.
like, oh, too many people are leaving good reviews. We gotta delete some of
Shadow banned
these.
for sure. So flood the reviews, man. Whatever you're on, Apple or whatever you're at listening to this, please go leave us a
Hmm.
review. Doesn't even have to be a 5-star review.
Follow us
Tell us
on
the truth.
whatever app you listen on.
Yeah, we got big stuff ahead. So that's it. That's all I got. Go outside. Everybody go
Get some
outside.
vitamin D.
Get some vitamin D and enjoy the nature. Peace.
Peace out.